Welcome to the first official episode of Unapologetically Accurate. I am Luke,
I'm Jerry Lee.
and our first official episode we are going to be talking about is the death of physical media. This is something that has been teased for quite a long time if you've been paying attention. And a couple weeks ago, we got some very unfortunate news to anyone who is a lifelong diehard Sony PlayStation fan. And obviously, the news is that in the coming generation of their next console, there will be no more disk drives. And that right there kind of set this man on a warpath, to say the least, of a tirade. And he he was already dreading this, and I'm going to let this man go ahead and speak up on that matter because trust me, he's going to have a lot more to say. I'm going to speak on some things, but he's definitely going to have a lot more to say because this definitely was something that was teased a long time ago, starting with digital consoles, and then just got to where it needed to be, and it's a horrible way to, I don't know, ruin such a hobby for fans. And I know some people are like, well, it's not dead, but again,
It is for me.
yeah, it's murky water for me because I don't want to say it's dead for me, but we gotta acknowledge this because this is horrible news. And with that being said, Jerry, why don't we talk about something that you know
Okay, so with PlayStation's announcement that they are removing the ability to buy physical games, that pretty much set in motion, gave us a little bit of fire under our asses to start the podcast because it's like, okay, this is a topic that's just too big to not talk about. Of course, plenty of people on YouTube and other places have discussed why this is good for some reason, like why are options being taken away a good thing. I don't understand that point of view, but okay. People have talked about how it's bad, and obviously that's the side that I'm on. But yeah, this is an episode where we're just going to be kind of going through our gaming history, what PlayStation has meant to us. Um, just kind of almost retrospectively.
and we're gonna acknowledge things that what this could lead to. Also, we're not fortune tellers. This man has predicted that he's told me a long while ago that this is his last console before this was even announced from Sony. And this was mere what days after Grand Theft Auto announced that it was going to be a code in a box.
Yep.
So yeah, this man was telling me that this is it. It's like he saw the future, and then all of a sudden, like that, it just.
And I was saying this before the PlayStation 5 came out. Like not oh yeah, I said this a week before Sony announced it. No, I've been saying this since the PS4 was still the new hotness. It's like, all right, well, PlayStation 5 is pretty much it for me. As far as buying new games are concerned.
Yeah, and this man will be saving a lot of money with his PC and ROG Ally, to say the least. But yeah, so Jerry and I would say the Sega Genesis was like really the first console I messed with when I was like probably a toddler. But the PlayStation, that was a gift that my parents got me for Christmas. What would be your first console?
So my first console was that I actually owned was the Genesis as well, but my brother had a Nintendo, the first Nintendo. He had one at his grandma's house and one at our house. So he would basically just let us have the one at our house. So it was my middle brother and mine's main console until we got the Genesis.
Yeah, that I got to tell you, that Genesis takes me back some because cartridge days. I mean, yeah, blowing in them. They say not to blow in them, but
We did.
yeah, we did. And trust me, my dad didn't like because me miss flying everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was like rip it out of my hand and. Oh, but I digress. That is definitely the early start right there. So I guess you could say me and him somewhat had a similar path, even though he had, a couple, something else extra to dabble with. But Sony is a big piece of our lives, to say the least, because when I first met Jerry around 2021, maybe when we were shooting the breeze and whatnot at work, he told me he had the PlayStation 5, and I was still locked in on an OG Xbox One and a PS4 Pro. That was it. I didn't get my hands on one. And I asked him, how was it? And this was right before I made the jump permanently to Sony, because I would say it was 2022 was when I was locked in on sticking with Sony, because I don't own a Series X. And I don't know if I'm ever going to get a Series X because there's a lot of third-party games and whatnot. But that, not to drift off topic, gung-ho Sony fans right here, you know what I'm saying? So you grew up with it. He confirmed that he grew up with it. I grew up with it. And did you have all the way through to the 5? You had every single one in between?
Yeah, so the first holiday season, I think it was 95. We got the first PlayStation. I think we got it like right, I want to say the first week of December. Our parents went ahead and let us open that one first, along with one of the games that they bought. It was Battle Arena Toshinden, if anyone remembers that. The very first, big box copy of it. And as that generation progressed, started hearing news about the PlayStation 2. My oldest brother, he got the PlayStation 2. I want to say when the Slim version came out, but me, I was all about PlayStation at the time, so it was just like I had to get this as soon as I possibly can. So I was scrounging up money. I had the blue box, first version that they ever released. I'm going to say it was probably 2 months after release, just because I couldn't find it anywhere. I went into a random EB Games at the mall, and they had one that someone had pre-ordered and never picked up. So I was like, "Yo, they're not coming. It's been 2 months. They're not coming. Let me get that." So I had my mom drive me back to the house, get all the money to get the PS2, and then PS3. I got that. I want to say I got that. I got a launch model, a 60 gig backwards compatible model. I want to say I got that 4 months after it released, because I had graduated high school already.
That's impressive right there. I'm not gonna lie, because the specs on that sucker was crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, so it was $600. So I was fresh out of high school when it released. I already had a 360. But I was like, no, I want the PlayStation 3. All the Sony games that, I was one of the fans that actually liked the giant enemy crab. Okay, I liked the first Genji. I got the second. I got the second game. The second game wasn't nearly as good as the first game on PS2, but So I got that a couple months, when I could find one inside of a GameStop. And PS4, their launch day, I got the PS4 Pro. I was going to get the PS5 on launch day, but if anyone remembers that, the pre-order sold out like within seconds of them being uploaded online. So I have a friend who worked at Best Buy. Shout out, Zach. He was able to cancel someone's pre-order that they had at the store, so I could get it.
But a goon.
He's not a goon. He's not a goon. He's a champion. Okay.
I'm messing. I'm kidding.
No, but that asshole, and he was an asshole. He had 6 on pre-order.
I might have been calling you a goon.
Well, okay, maybe, but that asshole had 6 on pre-order, so he canceled one of his.
Yeah.
And he allowed me to buy it. So it's not like he gave it to me. I didn't steal it.
No. You know what? You know what though? That scalper business is ridiculous. Yeah, mine's is different. I'm a few years younger than Jerry, and so yeah, I had gotten a PS1, which was smaller like cream colored white one. That's what I got for Christmas in the early 2000s from my folks. My dad had the original model. And by that point, he had gotten rid of the original gray model and he had already upgraded to the PlayStation 2. But yeah, I had that one. My father, like I said, he had the black one, he had the black slim, and he had the silver slim. He would just trade in and just upgrading. You know what I'm saying? That silver slim, I was surprised when he brought that in. I was completely caught off guard by that. The PlayStation 3 is different. My old man passed away in 2012, and that was the year I graduated high school. So I was working that holiday season. We were very depressed. It was the first Christmas without our father. So my mother, she surprised me with a PlayStation 3 Super Slim. And I think it was bundled with Assassin's Creed 3. So that was that
Sounds right.
yeah, she was doing that as like, your dad's not here, and she bought my little sister like a 3DS. Like she got us like a really nice gift that year to make up for my father passing away that summer. And that was a nice surprise. It was made things a little better. Still miss my old man, but nevertheless, the 4 I had gotten. I want to say the spring, the original. I want to say it was 2015. I want to say it was that spring because I had was already rocking with the Xbox One. That I think was, yeah, girlfriend at the time. Yeah, it was a holiday season, yeah. And then it was spring 2015 that came into my life, and then the Pro was when God of War 2018 came out because I still have the Pro PS4 Pro God of War 2018 edition. Beautiful console, and it's in my bedroom. And
That's the
yeah,
one with the axe on there?
yes, sir, Leviathan. Yeah, yeah. The console, that was gorgeous. I was love at first sight when I saw that. And to be honest with you, that might be one of the best looking PS4 Pros they ever released because some of them I was not too impressed. I didn't care for like the Spider-Man one, for instance. Like it didn't do anything
Oh,
special.
the glossy red.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that was like they put a little extra heart and soul into that. I did not get the 5 till birthday 2022. Yeah, that was a birthday present of 2022. So there was a way also because we also had COVID, and COVID that also delayed a lot of you know restock for the PlayStation.
In-person shopping.
That too, and there were still scalpers galore online. But Sony stood to their guns and said that they were going to have the consoles restocked by that holiday season of 2022, and they delivered. And yeah, man, that's when I had gotten it. He was already, telling me about what he was playing and whatnot. And I look back at that, console, and we talk every week about what we're playing, stuff like that. At the moment, I'm playing Cyberpunk. I just platinum Death Stranding. We just shoot the breeze, and it goes to show how much it means to us when that's something that we're sharing with you guys. Our previous experiences with this, and it's devastating that Sony is just pulling the plug. And now Microsoft is confirmed too that they're not doing physical
They
either.
haven't confirmed anything.
They haven't confirmed anything? All right, you heard it from me. Like I said, I wasn't sure, but yeah, this is not good news at all. And
yeah, they let Sony, toss that grenade by their own feet. And Microsoft's just over there looking like, all right, see how this is going to work out.
I look at it like this. Rockstar, it might have been a week, might have been mere days before that announcement from Sony. I can't recall because even though it was not too long ago, me and this man, we work full-time jobs. Some things, the timetable's not always accurate, but we're doing the best we can. Rockstar released the unfortunate news of their Grand Theft Auto 6 release this upcoming November. And boy, this has got to be one of the... I'm trying to be careful here.
I basically said, well, that's a game I'm not buying. Yeah, we're going to release this game in stores as a code in the box. And depending on which region you live in, that code, say for instance, if you live in Japan, that code will expire in less than 6 months from the release date. No matter when you buy the game, like you could buy it the day before it expires. You don't know.
I look at it like this. Nintendo was already doing this. They were already releasing codes in a box. Already. You can go to any Walmart and you can find it, and they have a big old strip some at the top or the bottom, and it says full game download only. There's no cartridge included. And then Nintendo's like there've been some trailblazers recently.
Xbox was doing it too.
Really?
Most of their first party games, like you see, like the Forza games, the Gears of War didn't even release physically on Xbox. It was just PS5.
See,
but like
I feel like Nintendo though they do something, and I feel like it's monkey see monkey do. That's my 2 cents of it, because you got to think $80 prices for games now. Rockstar, they were like, oh, if they can do it, so can we.
Well, GTA 6 costs $100.
Well, if you want the official full game. We will want to sidetrack. But Nintendo, we saw that. You go to any Walmart, and you can see that Nintendo was releasing boxes with a little piece of paper in it. Now, to me, that's a little ridiculous right there.
Did you ever buy one accidentally?
No. You got to know how to read. It says it right there at the top. I'm just saying.
I know.
These work. I'm just saying, man. You know.
My first time ever running into that was actually, I think it was the Wii U copy of DuckTales Remastered.
Really?
Where it was a code in the disc tray. It was like a little cardboard disc. I'm not joking.
I did not know the Wii U did that.
Yeah.
Nintendo, I think, really started this. I'm gonna shots fired. I'm just saying, we truly think Nintendo started this, and everybody's just, hey, if they can do it, so can we. Because guess what? To quote Danny DeVito, there's a sucker born every day. We're gonna take them for what they got. They're making money. Kids love Nintendo. That money is going to keep flowing in. So guess what? They can get away with doing stuff like that. And unfortunately, they're getting away with it. I mean, it is what it is. It's what's fact is fact, and what is the truth. And if you're a diehard Nintendo fan and you disagree with us, I'm not apologizing. I'm sorry, because this is ridiculous. Not going off topic, but yeah, Rockstar decides to go ahead and announce the biggest game of this year. We'll see, because you never know.
No, it's going to be the biggest game. There's way too many suckers out there.
Well, the delay is what I'm saying, because you never know.
Oh,
that's where I'm getting at. We'll see. Let's not actually. I heard someone did some vandalism. Let's hope it doesn't. Yeah, because if they do that again, Rockstar's gonna have a problem on their hands again. Having to take that money that they made off of Grand Theft Auto 6 and have to fix another building or something. But nevertheless, biggest game of this year. Sorry. This is what you're gonna expect from us. Biggest game of this year coming out this November. It's going to be a box office smash for video games. Hell, it's probably going to gross more than Doomsday. I'm going to say that right here, right now. Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah. It's already the biggest of all time.
And
it made $1 billion in 24 hours.
Oh, there you go.
So
yeah, I mean, you see how much I care. I mean, I care.
But are Sony's servers going to hold up when people start downloading this thing? Because it's going to start auto-loading on people's consoles. Is the PlayStation Network going to hold up to that? I doubt it. It doesn't hold up to anything. It goes down once a month, it feels like.
It just went down a couple days ago, and there was people talking about that they can't play their digital games.
Because they weren't the primary. They didn't set their console a primary.
Just a spoiler for the future. We'll see if they fix this. We'll see.
But then Xbox... I think it was yesterday or the day before, Xbox was down. And it was down for over twice as long as Sony was down. Like Sony was down, I think, like 8 hours. Xbox was down over 20 hours.
This is why it's good to keep your physical games, people. Just saying. You put the disc in. If it's installed already, you're good to go. You can still keep going. We're a little off track, but we're going to keep going. Rockstar goes ahead and announces a code in a box. And like that Danny DeVito quote I just said, man, everybody flocked to it. When I found that out, I was pissed. I was fuming. Me as a collector, you as a collector, you got some great games over there.
Yeah, I have some props.
Yes, this man has some gems over here. And
so each one has its own little thing that I want to represent. But like, this is just PlayStation, but like, Battle Arena Toshinden 3. This is a game I rented from Blockbuster at least a dozen times. And bought it eventually. Onimusha 3 Demon Siege. This is a game that I personally feel will never be re-released on any console because of the likenesses of the two main characters. I think that's the biggest problem going forward to all digital future is the licensing problems. That's the reason we can't get things like Def Jam 5 for New York ever again, because obviously the rappers want their money, new contracts. They're not going to go for the same, what was it, like $5,000, $10,000 that they got back in the day. They're not going to go for that. They want, I want at least $150,000.
It could be even more depending on how big the name is.
Yeah, like Snoop Dogg's gonna be like, Snoop Dogg will probably be all right with it. He's one of the main characters. He's doing new games like Stranger Than Heaven.
Yes, sir.
Heaven. Yeah, so he's doing that with Tupac for some reason. But yeah, licensing going forward to these games, even if you can buy the game, even if you can get the game, the next generation is not going to be able to get the game because of licensing. And there won't be a physical copy to go back to later. You will have to account share with someone who bought the game. I have to do the quotes because you're not buying anything. But moving on, you have things like Metal Gear Solid 4, which for 18 years has been trapped on the PS3. There's no other way to play this game until the end of this year when they finally release it on other platforms. And another thing that physical games get you is games that may not be released a certain way in your region, like these two right here. These two games, completely in English, completely in Japanese, and other languages, whatever, from different countries.
Hold that thought. That's how dedicated this man is to physical media. I'm going to go shoot myself in the foot so he can go ahead and rip me. There's a game called Berserk, Band of the Hawk. You go do that research right now on eBay, search engine. You got a computer in your pocket, use it. Berserk, Band of the Hawk, PlayStation 4. I got that game $20. Again, I'm shooting myself in the foot. I bought it digitally. That game is running from $80, which is the price of a brand new game, like a Nintendo game that's first party, and over. That man looked at me with such disgust. You know what I'm saying? It
was $50 at the time physically.
It was $50 at the time. That game, you got to get your hands on something that you love because look what's going on. Like for me, for instance, yeah. And then if you continue to buy stuff like that, Sony's they're making it rain. They're making it rain. And the devs, they get little to nothing, right? When it's a digital purchase, if I'm not mistaken, it's all mainly Sony that gets that tally, right?
I mean, no, they get more, but the thing is it's marginally more for
Sony digitally.
For either of them.
Okay.
Because
yeah.
I see a lot of false information about how the physical games, the retailers are taking these huge cuts. They're not. I worked at Walmart in electronics. I can tell you exactly how much our store was paying for those disc games. Back when the games were $60, our store was paying $57 per copy. $57, that means they made $3 profit. Okay, that is nothing. That is 5% taken out. Now, it may have changed since, the 360 and PS3 days and like early PS4 days when I was working in the Walmart electronics department, but it didn't change that much. They might get 8% now.
So he's dedicated, like physically. These are from out of the country.
Yeah, so this is Singapore, and I think this is Indonesia.
There you go.
But I'll buy the limited run games. I don't
shout out to Limited Run. You guys are great.
I don't particularly care for how long they take in their printing process, but Shinobi It's a game I grew up with on Sega Saturn and less so on Genesis. I played the Genesis game much later, but I played on Sega Saturn. Revenge of Sin. But sorry. Um, this is a game that came out digitally, I think $30, and the physical copy was $40. After shipping and everything, it was $50. I spent 60% more money on the same game.
Dedicated.
I'm willing to pay more money. Like if Sony were to offer a way for other people to publish their games or games on their platform, I would gladly pay the difference. Like, this was 20 or 25.
Sounds about right. Maybe at the most it was a $30 game.
I paid double that. I paid at least 50.
And this man was asking, like, because I have a friend who was at the time stationed in Japan. I had asked him, hey, if you see this, can you please let me know? Because I was trying to help him get a copy. And and it's crazy. You look back at like the PlayStation copy or the Unimusha copy. This has a manual. We're going to bring this a little closer. Hopefully it goes to focus. But this is a book. This is a book.
Oh, look, I still have the receipt.
Look at that. He's got a manual. This is something you don't see no more.
Oh, look at that.
It is a multi-page manual. And now when you open up a game, it's literally just a disc. And if you're lucky, depending on who's the publisher, you might get some interior artwork or a reverse cover of some sort.
RGG is usually good about including things like stickers or whatnot. But I mean, even this is way more than you normally get.
That's actually pretty sweet. You don't normally see this stuff. Usually it's an advertisement for your next game. Sometimes it's literally a warning label. And that's sad that you come from a jewel case with a colorful manual. That's also the cover. And now we gone to just an empty case with just a piece of paper in it. And it was already a piece of paper, like I said, the warning, whatever the case may be, digital pre-order voucher, some sort. Now Rockstar has, hey, there you go, enjoy. And people lapped it up. They lapped it up like a thirsty dog in a bowl of water. They lapped it all up, every drop, and they are making it rain. And this is probably going to inspire other devs to do this kind of stuff. And again, it's one of those things that you got to take into consideration that if this continues to happen in the future, do know that if a game, like you talked about licensing, if that license is up and you own it, they just pull the plug on you. It's a wrap.
Oh.
Yeah. This is definitely concerning. And Rockstar, they did that. There was a lot of passionate people that were pissed that was just a digital code in a box. And Sony takes all the heat immediately to announce that goofy news. And that was some goofy ass news, to say the least. It was almost like all of a sudden Rockstar was not even a thought now with that, because everyone's thinking about, you got to be kidding me, on that next generation, this is done. Like, this is over.
Not even next generation, it's this generation.
In retrospect, yeah, because
no one's buying the PS6, not at the $1,000+ it's going to cost. Like even before this news, with the price of RAM and all these AI data centers, taking all the supply of RAM, jacking the prices up for everyone, including Sony. Sony is not going to take that bullet. They're gonna pass the buck on to us.
Thanks, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, trust me, we already ragged enough about Sony, a little bit of Nintendo, Microsoft. Thanks.
But yeah, it's all the price of the RAM and stuff is going to be passed on to us, which means no one's going to buy a PlayStation. And at this point, with no physical games, why would I buy a PlayStation? It's like, I can get those same games on PC for less. Like, I can buy a $70 game on PlayStation, or I can buy the exact same game on PC for like 57 day one. Why? Because I have regional pricing options. I can go to different stores. I don't have to buy everything on Steam. I can go to secondhand uh, code sellers and get that exact same digital copy for less because of regional pricing. Sony doesn't offer that. I could change the region of my PlayStation account, but I can't change the region of my credit card. So it's like, you know, would I spend $1,000 on a PlayStation 6? No. Would I spend $1,000 upgrading my PC and have cheaper games to offset that price? Sure.
You technically got another prop right there because the ROG Ally, that's one of your key components right there to your gaming, especially probably in the future. This right here is probably going to be my next investment this upcoming spring. And I told this man to help me make sure I stay on target because boy, oh boy, do we run into things and, you know, it's easy to get tempted. But yeah, ROG Ally. There's even person at our job that was already considering it when I was like, yeah, you might talk to Jeremy because you're the expert on that. Yeah. This is insane. It really is what's all boiling down to. He says he's out. I don't know what to do. I got to see what's going to happen.
Well, I'm out of PlayStation.
Out of PlayStation, yes.
Like if I'm buying new games, it's either going to be on a super discount, you know, because like another good thing about PC, games go on discount way faster. I can get last year's games for like $3.
And it's still way more than the discounts that they offer from Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo.
Or I mean, even I know Sony announced that they are taking their exclusives off of PC, but like even the PlayStation games that are on PC, like Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2, those games, you can get the first game in Miles Morales for under $20 on PC all day long. I can get Miles Morales for $15 right now. I can get the first Spider-Man game. I think this last time I checked it was like $21. Spider-Man 2 is $34. All of those still full price on PlayStation. And that's the biggest problem I see with PlayStation moving forward is like at this point, Sony takes so long making games. It takes what, 5-6 years for each game? And who's to say I'm going to like those games? I liked Ghost of Tsushima. Didn't touch Ghost of Yote because I don't agree with the actress and all that nonsense that she's about.
That could be a topic for another day.
But like God of War, Laufey,
yeah.
Don't have any interest in that. God of War is the story of Kratos. I don't care about Kratos' wife, just like I didn't care about Atreus. I want to play as the God of War. I did not want to play as the God of War's side characters. And for those of you who say, oh, you hate on Atreus, I preferred playing as Atreus in Ragnarok. I do not like God of War 18. I do not like Ragnarok. I preferred playing as Atreus. Even though I didn't want to play as anyone other than Kratos, I liked his gameplay more than Kratos's. For one huge, simple fact. You could see what was going on because he's a smaller character on the screen. They're so far up Kratos' ass with that camera, you can't see anything. That's why they have to have the directional prompts to let you know when an enemy is attacking you. That's a different conversation for a different day. But anyway, so, you know, who's to say with PlayStation taking their games off of PC that they're even going to make anything I want to play? The only game in their slate that I want to play currently is Wolverine. And they're releasing that physically, so I don't need to worry about that game. The next God of War game, if it's the same camera style as the last two, then I don't want to play it.
You just announced the Kratos game is coming after La Fey. And
it's going to suck not being able to play the remakes of 1, 2, and 3. Oh, well.
And this is one of those things that with digital releases, I feel like this was one of those things that it was built up to. Again, the economy is garbage. It is terrible right now.
It's a dumpster fire.
Yes, to be living right now with what we got to deal with, the cost of living is atrocious. And that's the messed up part about digital games is that you're trying to save money. You're barely making ends meet. You want to buy a game?
Goodbye used games.
Go buy used games. But guess what? People, they buy digital because it's on sale. It's on sale right then and there. You're saving a few more dollars than forking over full 70. It's on sale for $55. Example, another one. This man, I know another buddy of ours, we were talking about Tekken recently. I was like, man, I'm done with Tekken. I'm retired from Tekken. I've been away from Tekken since Tekken 6, and that was on the 360. So this man over here and our other friend will butter me up about playing Tekken 7, at least for the story mode for Heihachi. So I go ahead, and I just came back from vacation. Before I went on vacation, it was about 2 weeks ago on Thursday. Beforehand, PlayStation had Tekken 7 season passes on sale. They were retailed at 20 to 30 bucks a piece, and there's 4 of those suckers. That's a lot of money right there. But they were on sale for like 10, maybe 15 bucks, depending on the highest to lowest price, you know what I'm saying? So if it was like 25, it was probably $10, and if it was 30, it was probably maybe 15 bucks. I go ahead and I missed the sale. I had more important things. Just buried a friend recently. So I was distracted. I come back into town the following Wednesday, and then I get back on Thursday. I start playing, and I look and I find out that those season passes, they're back at retail price. But here's the kicker: that was just for the season passes. They were selling on PlayStation Tekken 7 with the game and every single season pass for $19.99. If that's not bait, then I don't know what is. And when people take advantage of that, guess what happens? This is what this leads to. It's crazy. There's a lot of like baiting with this because again, all DLC individually, yeah, it would have been 40, 45 bucks, maybe 50 bucks. That's still the price of a brand new game depending on where you look. Because there are some games that the depending on the length, it might be like 50 bucks, for instance. There is something coming out soon. I got to figure out. But there was something that was coming out relatively soon for like just $50, and it was definitely a small title. Don't mean to sidetrack, but yeah, that's horrible. That is crazy, and I think also the start of just digital consoles. Period. Just a digital console. Nothing CD drive attached. The budget console.
Well, yeah, when I bought my PS5 Pro, I had to buy a separate uh, disk drive for it, and it's just like why is the most expensive thing you sell needing an add-on to do everything that you offer at the moment?
And let's be honest, if you didn't have your SSD at the time, which also have gone up in price, if you didn't have your SSD at the time,
oh yeah, I ripped it out of my old PS5.
I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. Because SSDs, they're mandatory for a PlayStation 5. If you don't not have an SSD in your PlayStation 5, I think that's insane. I'm just saying it's
insane to buy one now.
It's insane to buy one now, yeah, but it's definitely a necessity though to help with the console because that memory is just gonna like that. All the updates that you have on certain games, I got like 5 games on my PS5 right now, and it ate up almost the entirety of my console storage. That's insane.
And if you played Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto, it would be one game.
Oh no, that's sitting on an external drive. That ain't going nowhere for the foreseeable future. No, we're good. But yeah, GTA Online. Let's get back to Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto 6. Excuse me. Do know if you pre-ordered this game, you're gonna still have to put some more money into this now. You're not getting Grand Theft Auto Online. So if that's your selling point, that Grand Theft Auto 6 is packaged with online, until you hear from Rockstar, yeah,
they haven't said nothing.
They haven't said nothing. So do know that what you're expecting may not be there in that $100 package.
I am anticipating, because they haven't mentioned it at any point. Grand Theft Auto Online, the new version, is going to cost another sum of money. I think they're going to charge an additional $40 for Grand Theft Auto Online. And I think you're only going to be able to play Grand Theft Auto Online if you have a copy of Grand Theft Auto 6.
That would be
So,
insane.
bare minimum, if you don't want the Ultimate Edition of GTA 6, bare minimum you're paying $80 for the base game and another $40 for the online mode. So $120 bare minimum, 140 if you want everything. And that's
not including them shark cards.
Yeah, the shark cards, microtransactions. Oh, get insurance for your car.
And be careful, because who knows, if you didn't spend that money on them shark cards yet in current GTA Online, I could see Rockstar just straight dicking the community and saying, yeah, that stuff ain't transitioning over,
No, there's no way.
Yeah,
Yeah, as soon as the new online mode comes out, they're going to wash your hands of anything you purchased on GTA 5 Online.
Well, Danny DeVito. Just in case you didn't hear that quote again, I'll do it again. There's a sucker born every minute. We're going to take them for what they got. I mean, again, this is hell right here.
So going back to Sony for a little bit, or probably to end the episode, going back to Sony, because I have a somewhat new angle that I don't think I've even heard anyone discuss yet. So with Sony and the Crunchyroll anime store, they're putting buying physical goods behind a streaming subscription, and not just the cheapest one. You don't get access to the Crunchyroll store with the cheapest tier. You have to spend at least $15 a month or $18 a month for the very highest tier in order to be able to buy Blu-rays, mangas, collectible figures, and they have a lot of exclusives from a lot of big series under the Crunchyroll banner. So things like Demon Slayer, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Sword Art Online,
Cyberpunk Edge Runners,
Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of exclusive stuff, like the new Macross releases. So I'm not here to talk about anime right now, but who's to say, this is my new angle that no one's talking about. Who's to say they don't put the PlayStation Network under the same thing? Oh, you want to buy a new game on the PlayStation Store? You have to be a PS Plus subscriber in order to buy a new game. They probably are going to let you play the games you've already spent money on, but what's to stop them from making you have an active subscription to buy new stuff? They're doing it with the Blu-rays, the mangas, the physical goods. Why wouldn't they do it with their games? That's because they own 65, almost 70% of the anime market. They're going to have at least half of the gaming market. Because, I mean, Nintendo's off on their own little thing. Nintendo, Jesus. Xbox is not even a thing anymore. The next Xbox is going to be PC. So it's going to be PC and PlayStation. That's half the market. Like, PlayStation legit has half the market. What's to stop them from doing something like that? You have to spend how much? I don't subscribe to PS Plus. I haven't since the very early days of PS4. How much is a yearly subscription to that?
If I'm not mistaken, I looked, I think 2 days ago, I think the subscription is like $150 because there was a little ad for the Sony core movie little thing that they have going on. Like, to get extra credits, I think to rent something, you had to like.
It's not 150 for the lowest tier.
No, for the whole year. For the whole year, I think it's like $150. The prices went up recently. I could be wrong, but
that seems a little too high. That's probably extra.
No. That's premium for the whole year.
Premium
for the whole year.
Yeah, that's premium though.
Yeah, or are we looking for just a bare minimum?
Yeah, bare minimum. What's bare minimum?
A bare minimum, I think now, holy shit, I think it's like $12 or something like that. It was like $10.
Probably $100 for the year, right?
That sounds about right. Because
it used to be $80.
Yeah. Because the more you spend, they give the discount for each month and whatnot.
Okay, so let's go into the assumption that $100 a year for the bare minimum. Well, remember what I just said. Bare minimum wasn't good enough to get into the store for the anime. So what's the extra tier cost? 140 for the year? 150
if you're thinking premium is around 150, let's do like 125.
So 125. Okay, so 125. That's the tier you have to be at to buy new games. And what's the stop though?
Then the thing, Sony has an extra discount for PlayStation Plus members as it is, because they actually
is worse than it was before.
They have a tab now dedicated to just those discounts. So again, if people take advantage of those PlayStation Plus discounts, what's to stop them from trying that? It's a possibility, you know. And again,
would you continue to buy games on PlayStation if they required you to have the extra or premium tier to even buy games?
Well, I gotta again throw myself underneath the bus for the third time this episode. I have a PlayStation Portal, so I have the premium subscription, so I'm able to play and stream games off of that. So unfortunately, I'm already in that subscription, so I'd be
You're a goddamn disgrace.
Yeah, three times.
You're in line right next to Sony shooting themselves in the foot.
No. They use the missile launcher. Me, I'm imitating Anthony Kiedis from Point Break. That's what I'm imitating. The door actually bumped into me. Bam, you know. But yeah, no. This is horrible. This is horrible.
Meanwhile, you know, going forward, I'm going to be off in PC land, where if they piss me off, I'm just going to. So, yeah, PS5 emulation is getting better.
This might get edited out. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, well, I'm gonna believe it.
Yeah. You just put a pirate hat on, okay? Or play the Pirates of the Caribbean theme or imitation of it, so we don't, you know, get in trouble for that. But yeah,
savvy.
Yeah. But yeah, friend of ours at the job, his name's Justin. Good guy. If you're watching, Justin, if you ever watch, good man. You know, he said right at work. Guy's 21 years old. You know, he said why it's coming to digital, why everything's coming to digital.
Why?
Just straight up put his generation on blast. They're too lazy to get their ass up and go to GameStop to buy a game. And I almost fell out of my chair laughing. Because if that's what it all comes down to is pure laziness, at the thrill of the hunt of this stuff back in the day.
You know, because this is just so much effort.
He put his generation on blast, and I love it. I love it because he said it, not me. But you know what? Again, the thrill of the hunt. Days, man. You go into even a mom and pop game store, and you just saw.
I still do.
Oh, of course, you know. But that thrill of the hunt was just amazing. It still is amazing. Nowadays, it's just.
I'm in the search of 50-cent bulletproof on the original Xbox currently. I want to get a nice condition copy. Maybe even a new copy. It's not an expensive game. A new copy costs like $60. Not bad.
I'm still looking for a BB pod. You know, anybody knows anybody? I highly doubt it. We got no audience right now, but you know, from Death Stranding Collector's Edition, that's what I'm looking for. Is a BB pod. You can keep the game. I just need the pod. That's what I'm looking for. Again, Collector's Edition is also a trash too because they've been throwing digital downloads also in that in that box. They did with Death Stranding too. I was like, man.
And that's another thing that's being lost with the whole move to digital. It's like, you know, it's not just nostalgia. It's actually making memories with the games. Like, sure, you know, they don't come with the manuals like they used to, or like the swag that some of the games came. Like, I remember going to midnight launches for things like Resident Evil 5, and this wasn't that long ago. I mean, I say that it's almost 20 years ago. But like, I was standing in line midnight launch, and I was the only person getting Resident Evil because Madden released the same.
Oh my god!
But the funny thing is like, yeah, Madden released. So like, you know, I had a bunch of, you know.
You were the only cool guy in that building.
The guy behind the counter, he liked Resident Evil too. But anyway, like they were handing out things for, you know, each individual midnight release. So like, I was getting Resident Evil. So I got like this messenger bag. It had like a Tricell logo, and it had like a little the Ouroboros little vial. I lost the damn vial, but I still have the bag. But like, you know, he was handing that to all the people just me. They were doing the midnight launch for Resident Evil, and like all the football fans getting the Madden release, they were all getting it wasn't a jersey. It was like it was almost like like a team vest. So I think they had like 5 teams you could choose from, but you got like a vest that you attach to your normal shirt, and it was just just cool swag, just because you were a fan of the game and you were coming in midnight.
Mm-hmm.
I have a shirt for the PS4 launch. Our PlayStation representative was there handing out PlayStation shirts. I didn't have to pay anything for it. And the PlayStation rep, he was handing stuff out to people just on the way to something else.
I highly doubt they're going to have midnight releases. You get a receipt and it's a code on the receipt and that's it. Yeah, cool.
This will be active for the next 3 days. Make sure you use it, otherwise it expires.
Ridiculous. Again, this is ridiculous. And I also say the sales of digital consoles being I'm going to call it a budget console. Little Bobby,
And even with all of the digital stuff, 80% of the consoles being sold are still the physical version.
I'm just thinking during the holiday season, how they go on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Little Bobby,
what's that?
his mom works 2 jobs trying to make ends meet. He didn't get the PlayStation 5. She buys the digital version for him, and they sell. And it's the digital one. That's what happens. It sets people up to get this stuff, and they look at it and they're like, "Wow, maybe we can get away with something." And it's looking like that's going to be a possibility, man. This has been a big domino effect, really, from AI gonna completely tarnish how expensive the game market is going to be to get a new console. Actually, I'm going off kilter here. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just processing like how horrible this situation is. And again, I'm not innocent in all this. I threw myself underneath the bus. I got to be honest with you. But not as bad as others, though, because I've met people that say they are full-blown dedicated to digital. That's a disgrace right there, because I have a nice collection of games at home, and I'm proud to be a collector. And there's some people, they love digital. They think it's convenient. But sometimes if your internet goes out, where we are, you get a strong gust of wind. That's it. It's a wrap for your internet. You know what I'm saying?
If it gets a little too cold, the internet's knocked out for 3 days.
Yeah, if it snows here, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Why would you condone that? Why would you preach how good that is? You're a fool. That doesn't make any damn sense at all. To me, it's ridiculous, man. Like I said, it's tempting at times, but no, I can't be like that.
I want to go back to what you were saying about the working class person trying to get a console on sale and to get the digital version. That's not even a thing anymore. Like, because the price of the AI jacking everything up, like the launch PS5, $500, $400 for the digital. How much is the digital now?
Oh, it's like 550, 600, yeah.
It's 600.
So you're lucky at maybe a yearly event, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, if it's $500. If you're lucky, you'll see it that cheap.
You heard it here first. If you're lucky, you'll be able to get the PlayStation 5 all digital for $50 more than the non-digital was at launch.
Yep. It's a possibility. And it's insane. You look at it, what was the digital price? $350 maybe? 400. What was it? 400 for the digital when it first came out before the price. So 400.
It's 450. Well, I'm sorry. When the slim version of the PS5 came out, it was 450. So it went up $50 just there. But then the AI stuff happened, and now it's 600.
And then you're just going to say it's right here, right now. The way how you pay for your cell phone, unless you're a millionaire or you got a 6-figure job.
Plans?
Exactly. That's what's going to happen. The next console generation, you're going to be paying for your console like your cell phone. Unless you got a 6-figure job or you had scammed on your taxes, I don't know, got a
Apple has
settlement.
independence.
Yeah, exactly. There is no way in hell anybody's gonna buy a console out of pocket. There's no way. You're insane if you think you could be able to do it. Again, this economy, we'll say it till we're purple in the face. We'll say it till we're as purple as a damn logo back there. The economy is trash. It is straight garbage right now. So, yeah.
And with that note, that ends episode 1 of the Unapologetically Accurate podcast.
Yeah. I think this is a nice end off right here. I'm Luke.
I'm Jerry Lee.
Thank you. If you stood with us the whole time, we appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share. Anything from the link tree that you can support would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for sticking around. Take care.